Whether it is in books, on social media or TV, there is a lot of talk these days about self-development and self-empowerment. That, and it seems as though we are endlessly being told to relax, detach from drama, let go, walk away, be positive, live in the moment. Things you've probably heard 100 or more times, but really seem to come down to one thing. Fight and change everything you don't like about yourself. I believe this approach amounts to resistance, and what we resist persists, but more on that later. What if I told you that you are already a lot more developed than you know, and don't need any self-improvement? In fact, what I've found through personal experience, research, and my work as a life coach is this. Each of us, including you, is already empowered. And it is this state that I call the real self. It's the real, authentic self, free from the clouds of overthinking. It is who we are. I started off by looking into different philosophies. I was looking for peace of mind in my own life. So I studied this subject like a PhD, on a quest to find out what really worked. In the books, I found a lot of new, optimistic-sounding ideas, but I still struggled in real life, especially in those times when I needed it, when I was caught up in overthinking and the emotional challenges of day-to-day living. And, after starting a study group to search for something that did work, I realized nothing much was working for anyone else either. It wasn't just me. Many people explained how they just couldn't get to grips with those so-called easy steps to create a better life they were reading about. They were still battling their emotions and sometimes even felt worse after reading books that demanded positivity at all times. Having to choose the right thoughts to think and be happy all the time was exhausting. And despite reading about the teachings of the latest enlightened guru and even going to events where they could sit in this person's presence for hours, their own lives didn't change much at all. Others described attending meditation retreats to work on raising their vibration, or the more impatient would opt for one of those super-powered workshops to learn how to get everything you wanted in a weekend. By Wednesday the following week, after a hyped-up 48 hours, they crashed back to old habits and disappointment. Or months after trying to attract a soulmate or career or life purpose, still nothing. Many of the popular self-development teachings suggest that some significant change will arrive sometime in the future, but before long, many people report returning to the same old relationship problems, mood swings, and self-worth issues, and more defeated than ever before. Rituals, breathing techniques, energy practices, movement, the list of stuff to do keeps getting longer. It would take a lifetime just to sift through all the available theories, let alone try them. I remember thinking, does living a good life really have to be so complicated? However, it wasn't all a waste of time. Some aspects of the self-help teachings we explored in the group were soothing and seemed to offer hope. Despite coming from a range of traditions and times in history, these particular aspects shared a universal message. Treat others as you want to be treated. Be in the present moment. Speak your truth. Be your authentic self. Forgive everyone. Love others. And remember, you are a person too. So start with loving the person who you are. God is love, and love is the real reality, to name but a few. There were so many exciting ideas out there, but the question remained, how do we make these big ideas work in our own everyday lives? No matter how good these concepts sounded, putting them into practice was another thing entirely. Over the next decade of running my regular group in central London, more insights emerged, and I developed my own system of practical coaching tools, which I then taught to my groups. The results were compelling, tangible, and profound, leading to a sustained change for the better in people's lives. My group participants, who came from all backgrounds, told me that the tools were working for them and the changes they were experiencing were sustainable, no matter what was going on. Over the years, these practical teaching tools evolved into a course of coaching tools, which I'll be sharing for the first time in this book.